Into this, just take the points and run. Reading, after all, were without their first choice target men Lovell and Quinn, and reduced to 10 men for the whole of the second half after Michael Gilts went off the rails. Paul Raven, incidentally, was booked here as well. Off he goes. And Andy Hunt was remarkably casual as he pocketed Albion's first goal. Casual though he was, it galvanised the whole side on this, Alan Buckley's first home match in charge. Lee Ashcroft's shot had little hope of going in though until Hislop got in the way. A big win, whatever you say, against the side which could have been top of the table this morning. Let's see if booting out the chairman would do the trick at Derby, a club where football has a habit of coming second to politics and financial intrigue. Charlton cut them down within 8 minutes, and there was nothing Lionel Pickering in his dual role of benefactor and chairman could do after Craig Short had given the ball away. How relieved he must have been when Short, one of his costliest acquisitions, did what Paul Kitson might have done if he hadn't been pawned. Derby's second was a peach. About time we saw some of this at the baseball ground. And Tommy Johnson scored his first goal of the season. How could you tell? Roy McFarland apologised for a directionless first half and had to settle for a draw when Kim Grant again picked a hole in his defence. Only 3 home wins out of 7. Terrific game at Ayresome Park. It puts Middlesbrough level on points with Wolves before this afternoon's match. A nice little bonus for the former Villa fullback Neil Cox, who got himself into a striker's position. So that's why Brian Robson paid $1 million for him. Having suffered a phenomenal battering, Swindon went and equalised. Neil Webb, who's on loan from Forest, set it up for Fjortoft, and goal number 10 of the season, but not many of them match winners. Or match savers, really. Fat lot of good that one did them. Middlesbrough broke out of their indifferent form of recent weeks with a real vengeance. Hendry putting them in front again. And within a minute of that, Swindon gave away a penalty. Or so the referee Eric Lomas decreed. To say the least, it looked harsh. Suggestions of an elbow, perhaps, but Paul Wilkinson wasn't exactly challenging for the ball, was he? Another former Forest man banging in the third as Swindon start to look worryingly ordinary. After the Lord Mayor's show, their heroic Coca-Cola Cup demolition of Spurs behind them, not slipped back into the old routine at Turf Moor. Not too many protests at this decision, just blank resignation. The gloom lifted a bit when Steve Davis put through his own net. What's he doing playing football? It seemed the only way Notts would score. However, their 8th defeat of the season was on the cards when Hoyland struck 56 seconds later. It is looking grim, isn't it? Jimmy Greaves and I go on about wide men who don't cut the ball back. This is what can happen when you do. Vale flat-footed, Tranmere ahead. But Rovers' 100% home record was punctured in the most surprising fashion. Nothing very sophisticated about Port Vale's approach work, and nothing very clever about Tranmere's defensive neglect. Maybe they've just grown complacent. Bolton are moving up the table with a brand of attacking football you'd expect from Bruce Rioch. 2-on-1 sounds a dream scenario, but how often do you see a team capitalise on their advantage like this? Patilanen with the unerring boot. McGinley was an important figure in last season's FA Cup run. He's back in shape too, so you can bet your life the wealthy clubs will be battering down Rioch's door again soon. Everton spring to mind. And it was McGinley who collected Bolton's third as well. Watford had long since given up the ghost. And it shows, I think. When will players realise that it's no use arguing with referees? They hardly ever change their minds, and the best you can expect is a booking. That was handball anyway, and Millwall's precarious position near the bottom temporarily improved. Sheffield United are dropping like a stone since they were relegated, so a real dogfight this one. Blake squared it for them before Millwall's on-loan striker Cadet did his Salvation Army routine for the third time since arriving from Scotland. Last minute of the match as well. Millwall had better sign him before it's too late. Trivia question for you. How did Portsmouth make certain Bristol City won a penalty on a gloomy day in October '94? Flattened two men, that's how. Surely the ref wouldn't miss that. He didn't. Now another question. How did Bristol ensure they remain in the relegation area? By giving Portsmouth all the space they could wish for. You don't look a gift horse, do you? Luton's purple patch turned crimson. Defenders thoroughly embarrassed when Barnsley drove a